from Mr. Dalio. Stuart, you're not here at the table, so you go first.
Okay. I think it is very chilling. Basically, the Trump world, Trump is trying to turn back the clock in so many ways. In essence, they're selling indulgences to these companies. Like, if you come to us, we will exempt you from tariffs like they did with Apple. I mean, the Catholic Church used to sell indulgences, but they got out of that business in like 1567 with Pope Pius V. I don't know why that's a good idea. I don't know why the 1930s would be a model here. There's this need somehow to ascribe to Donald Trump that there's some grand strategy here, because otherwise he just looks like a blithering idiot. And I think that he is just a blithering idiot, and there is no grand strategy, and this is all about grievance and these ideas he's had bouncing around in his head since the 1980s.
Ashley?
I mean, I cannot disagree with that. I mean, here's what I think is it's either one or two things at play. It's either sheer incompetency or he's intentionally trying to tank the economy. And I actually happen to think both are at play. And the American people are the victims of it all, from their pocketbooks to their retirements. You've got a situation in less than 3 months. We're talking about not just a recession, but increased inflation, higher unemployment. I mean, literally the bottom falling out. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is at a UFC fight. I mean, make it make sense to me. You've got outrage from Main Street to Wall Street. You've got Republicans that are trying to rein in the president, and yet he's at a UFC fight. And I mean, but for me, I think what's most disappointing is that I don't know where my party is. Where is the Democratic Party? We should be destroying Donald Trump right now. I could so much so I could just strangle somebody. I'm like, where is the party right now? It is beyond.
What do you mean, where is the party?
Literally, we should be. I mean, Barack Obama couldn't wear a tan suit and they tried to investigate the guy. Donald Trump is intentionally tanking the economy and is at a UFC fight, and I don't hear anything from Democrats.
Okay. I'm just saying this.
Am I wrong?
We just had 2 Democrats on at the top of the show.
They're outraged,
breathing,
but I mean,
breathing fire.
I mean,
Democrats are breathing fire. Come on, Ashley.
Well, I mean, it's not having any impact. I mean, I'm missing most of it. Is my TV turned off? Maybe I'm Kendrick Lamar or something. I don't know. But I mean, we should be completely outraged. This is a gift that the president has given the Democratic Party, and I just think that we're, squandering this moment right now.
I will respectfully disagree with you, Ashley. I want to switch gears and talk about something. This involves the case of Mr. Abrega Garcia, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. He was here in the country legally. I want to play what the president had to say on Air Force One about this, about whether he's going to listen to the courts, what he said on Friday. Watch this.
If the Supreme Court said bring somebody back, I would do that. I respect the Supreme Court.
And the lower court judge as well. He's been asking for daily updates.
I'm not talking about the lower court. I have great respect for the Supreme Court.
Okay, so he has great respect for the Supreme Court. The lower courts, not so much, perhaps. Now, here's what he wrote on his social media platform. I believe this was yesterday. I'll put this on the screen. These barbarians are now in the sole custody of El Salvador, a proud and sovereign nation, and their future is up to President B. He's talking about President Bukele of El Salvador and his government. Stuart.
Look, I have an idea about this. They're breaking the law. That's been established now. When I was Republican, we used to dine out really on the idea of law and order. And the very sort of common sense principle, what do you do with criminals? You arrest them. So this is criminal activity. And I think the state attorney generals in these states where this is occurring should treat it like what it is. It's kidnapping. It's human trafficking. They should file charges and arrest the people that are involved with this. Now, will they be able to hold them accountable ultimately? All they can do, as you can do in any case, is do what you feel that you have to do. So they're not helpless here. You have crimes that are being committed in these states. Your attorney general, go after them. It's pretty straightforward. Kidnapping and human trafficking is illegal in every state in America.
Ashley, that would be a bold move by any state attorney general to do what Stuart is saying. But
someone's got to do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I would just say someone's got to do it. I was in California recently with the vice president, and she made this comment that courage is actually contagious. And that's what we have to have now. We've seen a situation where the governor of Pennsylvania home has been burned down. You know, people have to step up now and really hold the line because, you know,